my name is Katie Rago, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the social penetration theory. I'm just going to begin with a small clip of the movie Shrek. I'm sure everyone's seen it. You're probably wondering why right now I'm going to be showing Shrek, but in the movie he actually does reference this theory, and then I'm just going to play this short clip so you can understand what I'm talking about.
For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
Example? Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody likes onions. Cake! Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers.
I don't care what everyone likes.
Okay, so as you can see in Shrek, he did talk about how ogres have layers, onions have layers. And when he says that, he is referring to the social penetration theory. So what exactly is a social penetration theory? The theory was founded by Altman and Taylor in 1973 with the focus of really defining self-disclosure. And the social penetration theory says itself that self-disclosure will increase as the relationship develops. And two really things about this theory is depth and breadth. I can't really say that. So breadth is like the outside layer of the onion, which would be this outer shell, while like depth is going into it within the layers, which I'll talk more about. So while depth is what increases, like the more that people start talking about them, the first layer of this onion, I should have cut this open, is a superficial layer. This is just like a very basic conversation, the minimal information that you don't care of people knowing. So then the next layer is the social layer, which is more like friends, family, you know, more things that you are going to disclose about yourself, but it's not your deepest, your darkest secret. Then it will go to the core, which this is the most intimate level of self-disclosure. This is where people get really deep, tell those deep, dark secrets, and just like the things that make them who they are, that like they're not trusting just anybody with that information. There's more to this too, which is like the frequency and duration, which is how often it takes and how long it takes to self-disclose. And the article that I'm going to discuss really talks more about that. So the article that I read is titled, quote, "Will You Be My Friend? Facebook is a Model for the Evolution of the Social Penetration Theory," unquote. This study was really conducted to see how computer-mediated channels, they called it CMC in the article, has on the formation of relationships. So it was believed that through, you know, social media, Facebook, primarily in this study, that people are skipping layers and just disclosing more. And Facebook is a very prevalent platform for young adults to communicate, so you could find out just so much by someone by the click of a button that you can't just like face-to-face in person. So now I'm going to discuss some methods like through the research. So to find out what information they needed, they used a very qualitative research, which I personally would say that this was great because they got some more in-depth answers and really like honest and accurate data. So first, the first thing the researchers did was they analyzed 100 Facebook profiles. These age ranges were 18 to 25 years old. And this just kind of gave them like a general broader understanding, and then they divided these to practical and personal. So practical was just like links and stuff that they shared, while personal was actual posts that they made, their own words, their own opinions. So then from there, they did that 100 person, and then they analyzed those and did that. Then they did 16 people interview, 8 male, 8 female. Same thing for the 100 people, it was 50 male, 50 female. They're keeping equal ratios. And then they asked all kind of questionnaires, and it was more in depth. Like they would ask, like, you know, do you keep this on your Facebook, this, and this, and that really helped them to get these results. So for the results, the first result showed that previous opinions about what was personal and is personal is changing. So, you know, in the past, 1973, when this theory was made with the self-disclosure, it might have been more personal relationships, but now on Facebook, just by a click of a button, over 85% of people are sharing their relationship statuses. So really, that's not that personal information anymore. Another thing is that these relationships aren't face-to-face. So people who are shy kind of thrive on Facebook and thrive because they're not having a me-to-you conversation. They're more so having, I'm behind a screen, they can't see me, I could disconnect whenever I want. You know, what do I have to lose? I'll say more. So 79.4% of people make more personal posts on Facebook, which is disclosing more about themselves. So it is a little quicker because, oh, type away, me and my boyfriend just broke up, blah, blah, blah. Now all your 600 friends know that you and your boyfriend just broke up. And then it said 20.6% of people only post practical things. So my implications on this is that most people do include their relationship status, and that's just automatically disclosing more about yourself, because the moment that you break up and you change that from in a relationship with to it's complicated or single, then all of your friends know this. And then what I would suggest for some future research for this is that maybe we could start by looking at some other platforms, maybe Twitter and Instagram, to see if people will still disclose more on those platforms than Facebook. And then to apply this article, like my application of this article is actually, I talked to my friend Jenna about this because she went to Kent State, and she actually, before she even met her roommates, she just, you know, added them on Facebook, looked at their Facebooks, and before she even met them, she knew like what year they graduated, what school they went to, and just all different things about them. To conclude, the social penetration theory, onion theory, there's the breadth and the depth where you go deeper in and you learn more and disclose more about yourself the more that the relationship progresses. And then there's very private and practical uses, which is, you know, private posts or things that you're not put like Facebook, and then practical or just links and stuff. And now the next time that you watch Shrek, you'll understand the onion and the social penetration theory. Thank you.